little friends. How is your studies? Hope it is going good. So, today I came with an interesting chapter for you. This is the third chapter of Political Science from class 9, and the name of the chapter is Constitutional Design. The struggle for freedom had helped in creating a consensus about the shape of a democratic India would take after independence. There were differences of opinions among various leaders of the freedom struggle, but they were unanimous in making India into a democratic country. Making of the Indian Constitution. The leaders of the Congress had worked closely with the British institutions, which helped them in understanding the role of various institutions in governing a country. Elections to the provincial assemblies were held in 1931, in which the political parties of India got an opportunity to participate in popular elections. Although it was not a fully democratic process, yet the national leaders got a chance to learn the art of running a government. They learned to set up institutions and manage them. The nationalist leaders also learned to take the positive from the constitutions of different countries to incorporate them in the Indian Constitution by modifying them as per the local need. So, the Indian Constitution has influences from democracy in France, parliamentary system in Britain, fundamental rights in the US and socialism in Russia. The Constituent Assembly. Elections to the Constituent Assembly were held in July 1946. Its first meeting was held in December 1946. After the partition, the Constituent Assembly was also divided into India and Pakistan Constituent Assemblies. There were 299 members in the Indian Constituent Assembly. The Constitution was adopted on 26 November 1949 and came to effect on 26 January 1950. Pan-India representation in the Constituent Assembly is the prime reason that our Constitution has withstood the tests of time. The Constituent Assembly was not elected through universal adult franchise, but its members came from all parts of India. They represented all the social groups of India. It can be said that the Constituent Assembly truly represented society and its aspiration at that time. The Constituent Assembly held its deliberations in a transparent manner so that different opinions could be heard before arriving at a solution. Philosophy of the Constitution. To understand the philosophy of the Indian Constitution, you need to understand the Preamble of the Constitution. The key words in the Preamble of the Constitution of India are discussed as follows. We, the people of India. This statement means that the Constitution was not handed down to us by any king or by any outside power. Rather, it was drawn and enacted by the people of India through their representatives. Sovereign. The sovereignty means that India is a free country and no external power can dictate the government of India. It is important to note that the British had proposed a dominion status for India, which means it could have been a country under the British monarchy. The Constituent Assembly rejected that proposal and preferred for full freedom. Secular. There is no official religion in India and no religion gets special status from the government of India. Citizens have complete freedom to follow any religion. All religions are treated with equal respect by the government. Socialist. The socialism which is being followed in India is somewhat different than what was being followed in various communist countries at that time. The Indian socialism was about generation of wealth by the society and sharing of wealth equally by the society. It was decided that the government would regulate the ownership of land and industry to reduce socio-economic inequality. Democratic. India would adopt a form of government in which people would elect their rulers and hold them accountable. It was also decided that the people would enjoy equal political rights. Republic. This term means that the head of the state, that is, the President of India, is an elected person and it is not a hereditary position. Justice. The land of the law would not discriminate between citizens on the basis of caste, religion and gender. The government would work for the welfare of poor and oppressed so that social inequalities could be reduced. Liberty. Citizens are given the liberty to express their opinion in a way which is found suitably by them. There is no unreasonable restrictions on the liberty of citizens. Equality. All citizens are equal before the law, irrespective of difference in socio-economic conditions. Every citizen would be provided equal opportunities to improve his or her socio-economic conditions. Fraternity. Each citizen should respect the spirit of brotherhood and no one should treat a fellow citizen as inferior. The next topic is institutional design. A constitution is not just a statement of values and philosophy. It is about incorporating these values into institutional arrangements. The constitution lays down the procedures of formation of a government. It defines the distribution of power among various organs of the government. It also defines certain limitations to the power of a constitutional body. It describes certain rights which are given to citizens and also describes certain restrictions on those rights. Now, let's look some question answers from this chapter. First question. What is constitution? Answer. In a democracy, the rulers are not free to do what they like. There are certain basic rules that the citizens and the government have to follow. All such rules together are called constitution. Question number 2. What determines the rights of citizens and the powers of the government? Answer. As the supreme law of the country, the constitution determines the right of citizens, the powers of the government and how the government should function. Question number 3. Why was Nelson Mandela sentenced to life imprisonment? Answer. Nelson Mandela was tried to treason by the white South African government. He and 7 other leaders were sentenced to life imprisonment in 1964 for daring to oppose the apartheid regime in his country. Question number 4. Name the umbrella organization that led the struggle against the policies of segregation in South Africa. Answer. The African National Congress was the umbrella organization that led the struggle against the policies of segregation. Question number 5. What is meant by apartheid? Answer. Apartheid was the name of a system of racial discrimination unique to South Africa. The white Europeans imposed this system on South Africa. The system of apartheid divided the people and labeled them on the basis of their skin color. The native people of South Africa are black in color. They made up about 3/4 of the population and were called blacks. Besides these two groups, there were people of mixed races who were called colored and people who migrated from India. The white rulers treated all non-whites as inferiors. The non-whites did not have voting rights. Question number 6. Why was apartheid system particularly oppressive for the blacks? Answer. The apartheid system was particularly oppressive for the blacks. They were forbidden from living in white areas. They could work in white areas only if they had a permit. Trains, buses, taxis, hotels, hospitals, schools and colleges, libraries, cinema halls, theatres, beaches, swimming pools, public toilets were all separate for the whites and blacks. This was called segregation. They could not even visit the churches where the whites worshipped. Blacks could not form associations or protest against the terrible treatment. Question number 7. What was the reaction of the government towards the protest movement? Answer. In South Africa, the white racist government continued to rule by detaining, torturing and killing thousands of black and colored people. As protests and struggles against apartheid had increased, the government realized that they could no longer keep the blacks under their rule through repression. The white regime changed its policies. Discriminatory laws were repealed. Ban on political parties and restrictions on the media were lifted. After 20 years of imprisonment, Nelson Mandela walked out of the jail as a free man. Question number 8. How was apartheid opposed? Answer. The organizations that opposed apartheid included many workers' unions and the Communist Party. Many sensitive whites also joined the ANC to oppose apartheid and played a leading role in this struggle. Several countries denounced apartheid as unjust and racist. Question number 9. When did South Africa become a democratic country? Answer. At the midnight of 26 April 1994, the new national flag of the Republic of South Africa was unfurled, marking the newly born democracy in the world. The apartheid government came to an end, paving way for the formation of a multiracial government. Question number 10. Write a note on Constitution of South Africa. Answer. After 2 years of discussion and debate, one of the finest constitutions of the world was prepared in South Africa. This constitution gave to its citizens the most extensive rights available in any country. Together, they decided that in the search for a solution to the problems, nobody should be excluded. No one should be treated as a demon. They agreed that everybody should become part of the solution, whatever they might have done or represented in the past. Okay friends, I hope all of you understood this chapter very clearly. We will reach you on the next chapter. Bye.